So recently, my viewers decided to give me a challenge, and that was to beat an entire dungeon using only my fists. Now I bent the rules a little bit. I did allow myself to use slow-mo in some parts, but only within the focus limit. No infinite focus, that's cheating, I understand. Also, I am allowed to use telekinesis to knock enemies down. I allowed myself that. I didn't use that much, maybe 1 or 2 times, so I think that's about it. Other than that, let's get straight into it and start off with this first enemy. So you'll notice in this run I like to use my environment to my advantage a lot. It really helps when you don't have a weapon, so throwing that person off right there really helped. Now there's another guy that I actually wanted to try something interesting with here, and you'll see it didn't quite go to plan. So I thought I'd grab this cart and ram him off the edge with it, but it actually just made it harder because he just got stuck in it, and was actually incredibly dangerous to me, since he could hit me and I couldn't really hit him. Eventually though, I figured out that I could just beat him to death like that. After that, I decided to go in and check this room, and realised that the room was clear, and swiftly pushed through. Now, I tried to be sneaky, but these enemies did immediately spot me, so this is where I first had to start using my kicks. Knocked that enemy into the air, and knocked him to the ground. Now, one thing I found that really helps is throwing enemies into walls seems to kill them much faster. Just like that. I then proceed to move through. Picking up this jug, I thought it'd be quite a nice little item to bring along with me. Now this enemy didn't even give me a chance to be sneaky, so I threw the jug to knock him straight down. I realised that's kind of overpowered at this point, so I didn't tend to use that much more often throughout the video. Now again, trying some stealth. This enemy just over here. I do actually try to knock him down with that crate, and it does work. Once he's down, I just quickly finish him off and throw him away. Now, I'm going to skip ahead this little part here because I actually do go along this rope, and it was incredibly painful. It took absolutely forever because for some reason you move at incredibly slow speeds, so we're just going to skip to when I land over on the other side. And now that I finally made it over to the other side, I decided to push through the dungeon. Now, I'd actually never come into this room from this end before, so I was a little confused when I first came in, but did hit enemies unsheath their weapons and got a little worried. This bitch nearly committed Sudoku down here, so I just hopped down here, missed a kick, and grabbed her by the neck. Threw her against the wall, and it was pretty much done. But unfortunately she was still alive, so I grabbed her by the legs, or attempted to, failed that, so grabbed her and threw her. And I just double checked she was dead with a kick. Now I grabbed her by the neck. This is an archer. Archers are incredibly dangerous in this run, since they are long range and I am ridiculously close range, so I get rid of her very quickly. For some reason, I got stuck on that ladder, and this plank started wobbling around, so I decided to try and just climb the rock face instead. Once I eventually made it up the rock face, there was someone waiting here for me, so I decided to jump kick him, grab him by the shoulder, and take him out fast. Unfortunately, he was being awkward, and eventually, my right hand seemed to just pass through him for absolutely no reason. So I had no way of actually dealing damage with my main hand, which was kind of awkward, so I just tried to finish him off with my left instead. I couldn't even grab him. Finally finished him off by grabbing his neck and threw him down. Then I looked for a way up and proceeded to make my way up this ladder. These maps look absolutely beautiful, looking back at this video now. Decided to climb the rock face like this, and eventually got up to the top and pushed through the rest of the dungeon. Now here I tried to do something really cool in my first use of slow-mo, and completely missed. Yeah, embarrassing. So I decided to get rid of slow-mo, kick him down, somehow did that in full speed even better. Grabbed him by the head, and threw him. Now that siren threw me off like mad. I fucking panicked. I ran up to as high as I could, got up top just to see what kind of room I was in so I knew what I was fighting. And I recognised this room. This room was the church room. This room is fine. I can handle this. So I thought I'll hop onto the chandelier and jump down. Took down this enemy straight away, knocking him to the ground. Grabbed her weapon and threw her to the ground as well, and decided to kick him in the face and knock both of these two guys down. And at that point, you can see I'm running away. That's because I just punched my wall extremely hard and that really hurt. Next, this isn't slow-mo by the way, but my game actually lagged. This is slow-mo. So I decided to go into slow-mo to try and give myself a bit of space, catch up, after smacking my hand into the wall at max 7. Now, this wasn't too bad. I started realising that I could use enemies' bodies as weapons, grabbing them and throwing them, as well as using them as shields. So that's what I decided to start doing. Went for the archer, because very dangerous, and then as I was fighting the archer trying to kill her, I realised there was a mage. Now, mages are even more dangerous, so I decided I would rush for that mage, unfortunately losing some health in the process. Now, once I got the mage dead, I decided I would focus down that archer as soon as I could, using the mage's body to take down 2 more enemies. I then heard the archer taking some more shots at me. So once I got rid of this guy, I decided to go hunt that bitch down. Kicking her right in the face and taking her straight down, and finishing her off with a grab and a throw. Now this guy tried making a jump for me, threw him up into the air, and ducked right under this guy and punched him to the ground. Now I don't remember, oh yep, I was looking to see if I'd clear the room, and I hadn't. I found one guy who was stuck. The nav mesh was a bit broken in this room, so I got him and killed him in the most disrespectful way with his own sword. For some reason I decided to throw his body again. I don't know why. After clearing the room, I decided to try and make a quick exit, in case any more waves started to spawn. I had a look around and couldn't see anything, so I proceeded to leave the area. Now, I've never actually seen this tile set before, so I decided to push through up this way and explore. Now, here was my first big opportunity for stealth, so I decided I would try and take it. Unfortunately, there was a sneaky bitch on the left, and she caught me lacking. I decided I would use him as a shield to try and block her attacks, kick her in the face, grab her, and actually then use her as a shield to block his attacks. Eventually, they ended up killing each other, and I finished him off by using her. Now I proceeded to move down through the caves, and alerted someone straight away with my loud ass fucking footsteps. Quickly killed him, and just recognised where I was. I was actually in the Jonathan room. Unfortunately, Jonathan wasn't here for some reason. I have no idea why. He's supposed to be in the room next to us. You'll see soon, he's just not there. That was a beautiful kick down to the face, and we're going to take this guy out as well. Nice and easy. Bang. Smack down to the ground. Killed her, and used her, or attempted to use her to kill him, but missed. Kicked him to the ground, and beat him down. That was excessive. Now, for some reason here, I do attempt to try and climb the wall, but for some, I don't know why, there is a barrier over the wall, so you can't really climb the wall to get some extra stealth, and it actually ends up cutting out my audio, so I'm going to skip this little part here and go into when I'm going to the next room. As soon as I entered the next room, I was immediately spotted by this enemy, who I decided to go into slow-mo for, and missed a punch straight away. I'm really not sure enough my skill here, especially in the slow-mo, it's kind of pathetic. Finished him off, decided to come out of slow-mo and look for Jonathan. He wasn't here, so I took out this archer instead. Because I have a feeling she probably turned Jonathan into KFC chicken, and I'm not happy about that. So this bitch ought to die. Let's just take a second to appreciate how I just smacked her in the head, and the realistic bleeding mod just gave her a nosebleed. So cool, man. Honestly, great mod. Definitely grab that mod if you haven't already. Okay, moving through, I recognised this room straight away and really wanted to try and stealth through it. Since I know it's an arena room and I would spawn a wave if I was spotted, I didn't really want to fight that. So I decided to go up here and try and stealth across the top. Unfortunately, that motherfucker over there spotted me straight away and set off the alarm. I knew this was going to be a tough one. So I jumped straight into the action, kicking him in the face, knocking him down, and grabbing him on the shoulder. Using him as a shield to defend me from the other 3 enemies, I decided to try and throw him at them. Unfortunately, he wasn't unstabilized, which means I didn't get a good throw. Kept trying to beat these guys down and realised how incredibly dangerous this was. I was starting to get surrounded, so I dragged this guy all the way over to the cliff, and threw him straight off. And again, trying to use my environment, I really got beat up here and really lost a lot of health, so I was on about 40% health at this point. Unfortunately, me being an idiot and not taking health potions meant I only really had 1 life to do this with. I went into slow-mo for a bit to try and keep myself alive, and pull off some decent moves. My slow-mo ran out and I ran out of focus, so I just had to play safe and try and throw enemies off the edge. Unfortunately, this guy was having none of that. He got killed by his own friend, the archer, and I found that really funny, so I kept the archer alive. Now I wanted to get rid of the sorcerer pretty fast, so I just threw him straight off the edge. Again, me trying to activate my slow-mo to keep myself alive, and unfortunately I still had no focus. I have no idea why. So again, launched that motherfucker off the edge. And the room just repeated like that. And so on and so forth, so I'm going to skip to when we finish this room. So I managed to finish the wave and readjusted my headset because I hit the wall 3 times during the fight. I got out of crouching and went through the back exit into the caves. Now, I pushed all the way through until I found this lantern room and decided to just run straight down and ignore the lanterns. Now what I did realise is this was the final tile set. This was the end of the dungeon. So, I want to say thank you to whoever suggested this challenge. I really enjoyed it. If anyone else has any other challenges, please let me know. I'm really down for doing some more challenges. Anyway guys, that's how I beat the dungeon with using only my fists. And I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and I will see you later. In a bit.